All right. Good morning. My name is Jihad Matthews, and I'm a proud member of the Piscataway, second chapter of the New Jersey Orators. Today, I will be presenting in the category of Declamation. The title of my piece is Malcolm X Speaks to Young People. It is an excerpt of a speech given by Malcolm X on December 31st, 1964, to 37 teenagers from Macomb, Mississippi, who were on an 8-day trip to New York with the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee. Malcolm X was born Malcolm Little in Lansing, Michigan. He was an excellent orator who spoke up for the rights of black people. On February 21st, 1964, Malcolm was assassinated during a speech in New York. This man, who was killed because he wanted true equality and wanted to shape a new world for generations to come. I would like to say that in my speech, Malcolm says if you're in the dark about any topic, to read about it. Don't believe the fallacies that others tell you. You need to explore and learn about the world around you. The reason I chose this speech is because even though it was written and addressed to teens in the 1960s, this is a problem that kids of our generation have. Kids of our generation need to know that they're wasting valuable potential on doing what others are doing and wanting what others want. Young people need to be leaders and show generations to come what a mature, responsible young adult looks like. And I will present my piece. We are living in a time where image making has become a science. Someone can create a certain image and then use that image to lead you right up a blind path. Concerning my own personal self, I am against any form of racism. I will fight against racism, no matter where it is. I know that you are against racism too. We are all against racism. The only difference between you and me is that you want to fight racists, non-violently and lovingly. I'll fight them the way they fight me, whatever weapon you use. That is the weapon I will use against them. I am for peace, and I am against violence, but I am not against using violence to protect our people from the violence that they are victims of in this country. If we aren't aware, we'll find that these modern methods of trickery that have been perfected to a science will be used against us, and we will be maneuvered into thinking that we are gaining freedom or making progress, when actually we will be going backwards. The press can make the victim of the crime look like the criminal, and make the criminal himself look like he's the victim. But you don't think this is possible, to do this to your mind? I would like to point out a little incident I was involved in a short while ago that give you some of an idea what I'm going to say, what I am. I was flying on a plane from Algiers to Geneva about 4 weeks ago with 2 other Americans. Both of them were white. One was a male, the other was a female. And after we had flown together for about 40 minutes, the lady turned to me and asked me. She had seen the initials on my briefcase that wrote M and X. And she said, "I'd like to ask you a question. What kind of last name could you have that begins with X?" So I told her, "That is it, X." She was quiet for a little while. For about 10 minutes she was quiet. Then she turned and said, "Well, what's your first name?" I said Malcolm. She was quiet for 10 more minutes. Then she turned and said, "Well, you're not Malcolm X." But the reason she had asked this question was, she had gotten from the press and from the things that she's heard and read, she was looking for something different, or for someone different. It is very dangerous, for you and for me, to form the habit of believing completely anything about anyone or any situation when we only have the press as our source of information. It is always better, if you don't want to be completely in the dark, to read about it. But don't come to a conclusion until you've done some personal, first-hand research for yourself. The reason I take the time to tell you this is one of the first things I think young people, especially nowadays, should learn is how to see for yourself, listen for yourself, and think for yourself. If you form the habit of taking what someone else says about someone, or taking what someone else thinks about someone. Instead of seeing it for yourself and checking it out for yourself, you'll find that people have you walking west when you think you're going east, and walking east when you think you're going west. So this generation, especially of our people, has a burden more so than any other time in history. The most important thing that we can do today is think for ourselves. It's always good to keep wide open ears and listen to what everyone else has to say. But when it's time for you to come to make a decision, you have to weigh all of what you heard on its own and place it where it belongs and come to a decision for yourself. But if you form the habit of taking what someone else says about a thing, without seeing for yourself, you'll find that people have you hating your friends and loving your enemies. This is one of the things our people are beginning to learn today. That it's very important to think out a situation for yourself. If you don't do it, you'll always be maneuvered into a situation where you are never fighting your actual enemies, where you will find yourself fighting your own self. Thank you. My name is Jihad Matthews, and I'm a proud member of the Piscataway, second chapter of the New Jersey Orators.